How's it going, guys? It's Red, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a super powerful expired T5 setup that you guys can be using right now in Back 4 Blood. But before we get into that, if you're new here to the channel, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are in the deck building menu in Back 4 Blood. This is going to be the complete deck list, so if you guys are just looking to copy and paste the deck, now is your time to do so. But for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to be talking about why every card's in the deck and just what role every card plays in the deck and just everything like that. Now, the entire deck is going to be based around this one card called Expired T5, and if you don't know what this card is, this was one of the new cards added with the Children of the Worm DLC update, and it is going to completely replace our support slot. So when we're using this deck, we literally won't be able to have any healing items at our disposal, and it's going to cost us 50 rifle ammo every single time that we use it. But the card itself creates a cloud that deals 8 fire damage to weak spots every single second, and it also has a 25-second cooldown every single time we use it. So there's a couple things that you're going to want to keep in mind when you're reading this. We're going to be dealing fire damage, and we're going to be dealing damage to weak spots. And I know at base value, this card doesn't really look like a whole lot because it's like 8 damage every second. And like, who cares? You know what I mean? That's not a lot. But I mean, there are a lot of cards in this deck that benefit greatly off of, you know, weak spot damage and fire damage. Now, the first card that I want to go over in this deck, before I really explain how, you know, the game plan with the deck and what you're going to want to be actually doing gameplay-wise, I want to go over this card first, Pyro, which is going to give us plus 100% fire damage, and it's going to say, kills with fire grant us 3 temporary health, and we can sense flammable objects nearby. Now, Pyro, in my opinion, is one of, if not the best card in this deck outside of, like, Expired T5, and it's what makes the deck work. And it's going to make it so that every time we create this cloud that's just going to instantly kill all of the common and most of the special infected around us, we're going to be getting 3 temporary health for every single one of those kills. And doing this is going to give us so much more temp health than like even the most dedicated melee temporary health builds can even come close to. And with this card, we're also just going to be getting so much temporary health that we're essentially never going to not have temporary health. And there's also a lot of cards in this game that can really heavily benefit off of having temporary health. So after reading Pyro and Expired T5, the main game plan that you're going to want to be doing is you're going to want to make sure that you have your rifle ammo ready to go, and you want to go and press your support slot button, because that's how you actually use this gadget, is you would press the button that your support slot would be in, but it's disabled now because we're using Expired T5, and it's going to make the cloud, and it's just going to kill everything around you. And usually when you have every card in the deck like active, it's going to pretty much instantly kill all the special infected around you too, and you're just going to have a bunch of temporary health, and you're going to be very hard to kill. Now, something of note is that this will not deal any damage to the Charred Ridden, so I mean, you still have to play, you know, very cautiously around Charred Ridden, and this also isn't going to kill sleepers. So sleepers are still going to be able to hit you if you don't still shoot them. They're not going to like disable your cloud or anything, but I mean, they're still going to deal damage to you. Now, the next card I want to go over is Pumped Up, which says our temporary health decays 20% slower, and it gives us additional pain med spawns in each map and plus 5% health. Now, the main reason we play this card is, you know, to obviously make our temporary health decay 20% slower, because we're just going to have so much of it with Pyro. This is another big reason why we're going to basically never run out of temporary health. Now, the additional pain med spawn, they don't really matter for us, so if you're playing on solo, it doesn't really matter, but I mean, it is going to help out, you know, like your other people if you're playing online, so that's like another incremental thing that it doesn't really help you, but it helps your team. And I know it doesn't look like much, but the plus 5% health actually is good because we don't have any support slots. So, you know, we really gotta make sure we try really hard to not get hit, and just having more base health to work with makes it a little bit easier. Up next, we have Numb, which says we gain plus 10% damage resistance when we have temporary health. So this card just basically says plus 10% damage resistance because we're always gonna have temporary health thanks to Pyro. Now, these next 3 cards are all going to be cards that are going to proc off of precision kills, which every single kill we get with Expired T5 is going to be a precision kill because it targets weak spots. Now, first we got Sadistic, which has each precision kill gives plus 5% increased weak spot damage for 10 seconds, which is also going to make Expired T5 just that much better. We have In the Zone, which has precision kills grant 5% reload speed for 5 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. And we also have Trigger Control, which is going to say precision kills with guns grant 0.5% accuracy until the end of the level. So Sadistic just makes Expired T5 as a card way better, and In the Zone and Trigger Control are just going to be used to help stack Jim just out of his mind, because Jim is actually going to be the cleaner that you're going to want to use like every single time with this build, because Jim is one of the only cleaners that actually really benefit off of Expired T5, because he has this static ability that says Precision Kills grant Jim 2.5% stacking damage until he takes damage. So I mean, if we just use Expired T5 and kill, you know, a bunch of stuff, he's going to get a bunch of stacks as long as we don't take any damage. Now up next for our next category, we have weak spot damage, because Expired T5 does deal damage to weak spots, and I mean, when you put these weak spot damage cards in, it's going to make Expired T5 kill everything just that much faster. So up first we got Hyper Focused, which is going to give us plus 50% weak spot damage and minus 40% move speed while we're shooting or melee attacking as the downside. But to balance that out, we have Hellfire in the deck, which is going to give us plus 45% move speed while firing and plus 3% move speed while we're not firing. So Hellfire is in here essentially just to make it so the downside on Hyper Focus isn't as bad. Up next, we got Reckless Strategy, which is going to give us plus 30% weak spot damage and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside. And to round this category off, we have Ridden Slayer, which is going to give us plus 20% weak spot damage. Now, with all these combined, we have an even plus 100% weak spot damage, which is just going to make Expired T5 deal as much damage to weak spots as it can with, you know, this certain category. But I mean, now looking, you know, like further into the deck, you can really see why Expired T5 just turns into like a super busted card, because not only are we dealing significantly more fire damage than what we normally would be, we're also dealing significantly more weak spot damage than what we should be able to as well, which is going to make it so when we use our Expired T5 clout, it's just going to kill everything on sight, like instantaneously. Now up next we have Ammo Mule and Ammo Belt, which are both just going to give us ammo capacity, and the reason that we have that is just so that we can just hold an ungodly amount of rifle bullets just to make sure that we never run out of bullets to use for Expired T5. Now, there's two ways that you can go about using this Expired T5 deck, and I've tried both, and honestly, I just think it's up to player choice. You can either use an assault rifle with this build and, you know, just rely on your teammates and, you know, rely on good RNG to make sure that you never run out of ammo. But the thing I don't like with that build is that you oftentimes get, you know, pulled down to like just your pistol, and if you get pulled down to just your pistol and can't use Expired T5, this build is really, really bad. But something else that you can do is just use pretty much anything else that isn't an assault rifle. Like, I was really loving using SMGs with this build, because SMGs aren't going to take off from the Expired T5 gadget cost that we have to use, and it's going to make it so we can just keep as much AR ammo for Expired T5 as necessary. And it's going to make the ammo that, you know, like your teammates drop for you or you randomly find, it's going to make that ammo last a lot longer and make it so your resource isn't as hungry as it should be. And if you're not using ARs like as your main thing and you're only using the AR bullets just for the gadget cost on the Expired T5, Ammo Mule and Ammo Belt should be more than enough if you just fill up before you start the level in the shop. Now up next we have Food Scavenger, which is another one of the new cards that came out with the Children of the Worm DLC that says it adds a moderate amount of food items to the world, and food items restore an additional 3 health. Now the reason that this is in here is because this is just another incremental way for us to gain health, because Expired T5 does completely take away our support slot. And if we're not playing with people that are going to just keep actively healing us when we need it, I mean, we gotta figure out how to fend for ourselves. And Food Scavenger is going to be a great way to get a lot of that life that we're going to lose back, as long as we don't take like a bunch of trauma damage, because the Expired T5 Pyro combo only gives us temporary health, but I mean, we still need to be able to get our real health back in some way. And for the last card in the deck, we have Grenade Pouch, which is going to give us +1 offensive inventory and +25% swap speed. Now, the reason that this card is in the deck is just so that you can hold an extra Molotov for Pyro, because I mean, Molotovs do get a lot better when they deal double damage, and the fact that we get 3 temporary health for everything that the Molotov kills, I think is worthy enough for a card slot just to hold another one. Well, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below telling me any deck changes that you guys would make, and as always, if you happen to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And until next time, it's been Red, and I'll see you guys in the next video.